Hi, it's Sophiakarpman, host of Dream Big Podcast show, place to learn, laugh, and grow.
And this is Olgakarpman. Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast.
Big dreamers, if you are listening to this on the day it is published, it is New Year's Day, January 1st, 2024.
So
Happy New Year's! Today we are going to talk about how to make 2024 your best year ever. Are you ready? I'm fired up for 2024 and ready to go. Are you?
This is episode 388 of the Dream Big Podcast, and it's time
to dream big!
Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Happy New Year, everyone. 2023 was a great year, and 2024 is going to be an even better year. I'll explain how I'm going to make sure it is, and how you can do it too. First, let's talk about the significance of a new year. It's a natural time to look at the past year, reflect, and set goals for the coming year. How do you want to grow? What do you want to accomplish? These are things you should actually be thinking about and making plans for. And we'll discuss how to do that now.
Big Dreamers. We've broken this down into 3 easy steps for you to follow. And if your parents are not listening with you right now, then I would definitely go get them and tell them to listen as well, because this is actually best done as a family exercise. Let's get the whole family involved in making 2024 great.
Step 1 is to start by acknowledging your accomplishments from 2023. It's always important to celebrate the wins and what you achieved. It could be anything, big or small. Maybe you got a good grade in class, or you learned how to do something new, like ride a bike, edit a video, any new skill you learned in 2023.
Maybe it's something that you had been struggling with but improved over the year. You became a better reader, learned how to add double digit, learn new language maybe. This will obviously depend on how old you are, and regardless, there are lots of things that if you thought about long and hard, I'm sure you can list out. And if you do this exercise with your parents or siblings, then I'm sure they can help you come up with things you did great as well.
Step 2. Now that you have listed out all what you did great in 2023, and now have a positive mindset, it's time to come up with your vision for 2024.
One tip though, Big Dreamers, don't have too many resolutions. What Sophia usually does, she lists 3 main categories: school, family, and personal. So let's say she has 3 resolutions in total, and also personal vision, who she wants to be. You already know she wants to be a singer, so she's envisioning herself as a singer. And I also gave her one little tip. Imagine yourself at the end of 2024 as if you are writing a story about what happened in 2024. You get it? Like you're writing now as if already it is 2024 and it's the end of it. And you're writing the story, what already happened. So Sophia wrote a story how she was a singer, how she was taking classes, how she was performing on stage. Our mind then will remember it. And when you go about your year as usual, it will start pulling and drawing into your life events, people, circumstances that will help you achieve your story. You get it? That's a little magical trick. And if we go back to our resolutions based on that story, you will have categories: school, family, and personal. And by not having too many categories, you will make it happen. If you have too many resolutions, the chances of you actually sticking to them go down. So pick your resolutions wisely. Make sure you have your vision, your story, and think about the one thing that you can do in each category that will have the biggest impact on your year and your story. So if you look back at the end of 2024, like in our story, Big Dreamers, and achieve that goal, you can be incredibly happy about that accomplishment. And it will be best if you structure your resolutions using SMART goals. SMART. That is an acronym that actually Eva went over in great details way back at the beginning of our podcast in episode number 18. So SMART goal is acronym where each letter of SMART, S-M-A-R-T, stands for something. S is for specific. Your goal should be very specific. For example, next year, I want to continue to inspire my audience to Dream Big Podcast by continuing to publish weekly episodes of the Dream Big Podcast. That's what Sophia wrote. Right? Notice she didn't say, I want to inspire people to dream big. She specifically said, the podcast will allow me to do that. And she specifically said, weekly. That is actually getting us to letter M. It's for measurable. When you measure your progress, you stay on track. Work to reach your target, and you're more likely to reach your goal. So, for example, right now we are on episode 388 of the podcast, right? If we continue our weekly podcast and weekly publishing, then there are about 52 weeks a year, right? Plus minus one. And then we'll be at least at episode 440 by the end of the year or beginning of the following year. So next year, at this time, there are going to be 440 episodes under Dream Big Podcast belt. Isn't that impressive? If that was Sophia's resolution, it would be very specific, very measurable, right? Because she would know how to fulfill that. Next letter, A, stands for action-oriented. You need to plan of action, how to get to your goal. As an example, over this school break, Sophia going to be filming shorts for YouTube channel. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please find us Dream Big Podcast on YouTube Kids as well. And all the links will be in the description of this episode. And she'll be also brainstorming what other episodes we can record and videos for Dream Big Podcast. Audio and video, right? So this is very specific action. We also put in the schedule how many times a week we're going to do that. How many times a week and when we're going to brainstorm and record. So that means it's very, very action-oriented, right? Next letter, R, stands for relevant. This means the goal relevant or important to you. For example, this past year, Sophia really loved recording podcasts. She also loved recording videos. We haven't published many, but she recorded many. They're still in the works. So her goal is to continue publishing every Monday and continue editing videos and publishing videos as well. That's relevant to her. Relevant also means that something that speaks to your heart. It has to be important to you. It has to be part of vision of who you want to be, right? And finally, T stands for timely, which means you need to set a time frame for when your goal should be met. Since this is a New Year resolution, typically they are goals for your year. So you can look back 1 year from now and see if you made your resolutions a reality. And remember, it will always work best with your story that you're going to create. Remember I told you at the beginning? Just create the story of you, how you lived this year, right? We're going to trick your mind a little bit on this, but it's going to thank you later because it's going to pull everything you want. For example, you always wanted to learn how to ride a bike, and you're writing a story. This year, I learned how to ride the bike. We went on many adventures with my family. I remember riding my bike, winding my hair, singing songs, feeling absolutely happy. We took my bike on a road trip. We went to grandma's house. We rode bike by the beach in the mountains. It was awesome. Do you see what I did? I pictured you already on the bike, and I even specified how you felt. So I invite you to do the same. It's a really cool trick that really works.
Setting resolutions is an activity that me and my parents do together. And we all have resolutions for next year. It was really fun to come up with our lists together, and we are all excited to make 2024 an incredible year. So to recap, we went over to step 1, which is celebrating your accomplishments from 2023. Step 2 is setting your SMART resolutions for 2024. And finally, step 3 is something you'll continue to do over the course of the year. And that is to check on your progress. And if you're doing this with your entire family, then you can help plan or spend 10 minutes once a week, maybe every Sunday night, family dinners as example, where everyone can share their progress on their resolutions. If you didn't do anything on a particular week to move towards your goal, that's okay. And you still have time to do it. But at least this way, you will be able to recognize and commit to doing something the next week. Most New Year's resolutions are never met. People get excited and take action in January and February, but then they get distracted and don't follow through. If you have a weekly check-in, you will ensure that you're always making progress towards making those resolutions a reality.
Here you have it, big dreamers, the 3 steps towards setting resolutions that stick in 2024. Let's make it your best year ever. As always, be sure to check our show notes for this episode at dreambigpodcast.com/388. And of course, follow us on social media. Just find us at Dream Big Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and any other social platform. We also would appreciate if your New Year's gift to us will be your honest review. Just go to dreambigpodcast.com/iTunes and you will get all the instructions how to leave your review. You can also leave your review on any platform you're listening us on. Thank you so much for being part of this wonderful community. What can be better than starting this year with big dreamers, right, Sophia?
Yes, Mom. Big Dreamers, I want to wish you a Happy New Year's and a great 2024. I hope you love this episode as much as we love recording it for you. As always, thank you so much for tuning into the Dream Big Podcast. This was Sophiakarpman
and olgakarpman,
reminding you that you've unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional. You need to make them essential. So take massive action and turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion the way life was meant to be. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Happy New Year and keep dreaming big.